ladies, we're going to talk about something in your business that if you're not really organized, it could seem a little chaotic, and those are replacements and exchanges. And I'm going to tell you up front, you're going to have some months where it feels like every piece of jewelry you sell breaks, and then you're going to have some months where you don't hear anybody needing to replace or exchange any piece of jewelry. So just like anything in life, replacements and exchanges ebb and flow, okay? So don't feel like that every piece of Premier jewelry breaks, because that's not the case. Our return rate is actually really high in the industry. We have about a 3% return rate, which means about every 100 pieces you sell, you should have about 3 pieces that, something happens to them, enough glue didn't get on the stone or something like that. You will have to replace it, which thankfully Premier has such an amazing golden guarantee that covers us as jewelry ladies, because how sad would it be if we sold a piece of jewelry and a stone fell out the next day after the customer got it and you couldn't do anything about it. So I'm so thankful that Premier has our golden guarantee in place. Now, our golden guarantee is not a lifetime guarantee, so I want to make sure that you let your customers know this. So typically at a jewelry show, I say something like this. When I talk about our golden guarantee, I say, ladies, who has ever bought jewelry from a department store like Dillard's or Macy's or Target, anywhere like that? Raise your hand. And usually they'll all raise their hand, and I'll say, that's right. Now, do they care what happens to your jewelry 30 or 60 days later after the receipt expires? And they don't. But Premier does, so we have something very special called our Golden Guarantee, and this is what separates buying your jewelry from us versus buying your jewelry at a place like that. It covers against any manufacturing defects, which means if a stone falls out or a clasp breaks, Premier is going to replace that jewelry for free in the first 60 days, and after 60 days it will cost you just $5. That's it. Now, ladies, this is not a lifetime guarantee. It doesn't cover normal wear and tear. And so I'll say to the ladies at the show, just like you would buy a new pair of shoes, you love this new pair of shoes and you wear them, not every day, but pretty often, and you love it, right? Well, after a few years, you have to buy a new pair of shoes because they just wear out. That's exactly how our jewelry is. It's not heirloom jewelry, but it will last you through lots of wear. And in a few years, when it's worn out, time to get it replaced, I can totally help you do that and get you some for free through another jewelry show. So you just kind of want to throw that in there so people know what the difference between a manufacturer's defect is versus normal wear and tear. Premier runs on the honor system, so they're trusting you to determine on the front lines whether it qualifies as normal wear and tear or as an actual manufacturer's defect. Okay? Now, when somebody gives me to a jewelry show, they bring me a piece of jewelry, I usually have little baggies ready to go. You can see this one right here already has the jewelry in it that the lady gave me. Now, typically I'll have an index card just sitting in the Ziploc bag. If you look on our Rockstar's website, we have this thing called the replacement and exchange form. There's 4 to a sheet. You can actually just print those out, cut them up, and stick them in here. And it's pre-printed with a space for them to put their name, address, what piece they put in here, and it reminds them that if it's been over 60 days, they need to include $5 plus tax for each piece that they put in the bag. And that way, I zip it up, the jewelry doesn't fall out, and their information is already in here. If you're like me and you forget to print the replacements and exchange forms, just stick an index card in there and they can write the same information on the index card. You'll just need to remind them to put their $5 plus tax per piece inside the bag with it. Now, when I get home, Premier has set up this amazing replacement and exchange part of their website where literally you go in and it guides you through their step-by-step instructions on how to enter the jewelry of what needs to be replaced and where to ship it to. Then it will say, before you go anywhere, print this sheet of paper off. So I make sure I print my sheet of paper off once it's filled out. I literally fold it up just like this. And I take that same Ziploc bag that they gave me the jewelry in, remove their information from it, and the piece of paper that Premier prompted me to print out, I take and I fold up. And so this lady in particular, there's 2 pieces of jewelry in this bag. So her 2 pieces of jewelry are on this order form. I literally just fold it up, stick it in the bag just like this, zip it up, and that's it. That's all I do. Now, I usually save my replacements and exchanges into a pile. And about once a month, usually, or if you come to training, your training may ship all of the replacements back, so you can actually never pay shipping to ship your replacements back. But let's just say you're doing it by yourself at home. Well, I don't send this back to Premier right away through USPS because I would pay an arm and a leg in shipping to do that every time somebody gave me a piece. So the cool thing about Premier is they give you, they automatically ship out the pieces to your customer, your brand new pieces, but they give you 30 days to ship back the replacements in exchange. So I piled them up on my table. So let's say I have now at the end of the month 5 different baggies from 5 different people. Then I will take all those baggies, I will stuff them as hard as I can into a priority just flat rate envelope or box that costs $4.95 to ship. And I will stuff them in there and mail them back to Premier's P.O. box. Okay, that way I'm only paying a flat one-time shipping to ship back multiple replacements and exchanges at one time because of that gracious 30-day period they give you. Okay, so those are just some little tips for you when organizing your life and your business and trying to do it the most economical way for you. So make sure that you're not shipping them back individually. You can totally, as long as that paper is in the baggie with that person's jewelry, you can ship multiple bags back within the same box to Premier, and that saves you lots of money and headache about going to the post office. So, and also let me just tell you, you can really show awesome customer service through your replacements and exchanges. And really, I've seen lots of jewelry shows booked from that because they see how well you take care of them and they want to do more business with you because they know that they can trust you and that they're going to be taken care of with their jewelry. And it's a great time to serve, and then because of that, you can really probably see your business grow. So have fun doing replacements and exchanges. They're a great part of your business.